What's going on, guys? Lucky Tristan here, back for this is supposed to be, I guess, the third in the series, but the second one recorded so far. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll just throw these out there and then do the other ones later. But nonetheless, this is Best of the Rest Hive BeeDrill edition with no one other than himself, Regulator.
Hello, Hive. I'm back.
He's back, and yeah, you know, this was recorded like 3 minutes. The other version was recorded like 3 minutes ago. So now we're moving on. Just gotta keep the grind up, you know, because for some reason an invite is 750 honey. You know, it's nonetheless. Gotta get this done. Gotta get Greg his color. Damn it, you know. So
that's why we're here.
Oh yeah. So basically, Best of the Rest, Hive BeeDrill. First thing I gotta ask you, Greg, is what was the biggest difference between working with BeeDrill and Weedle in your mind?
Yeah, definitely the first thing I noticed is that BeeDrill left the top very, very empty and left more stuff in the middle to work with. I felt that in Weedle, when I was building a team, there's a lot more stuff at the top and less options in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of reversed in this situation. As you can see on the BeeDrill doc, there are only 3 tier 1 Pokemon available to build a team with. That's not a lot of options, it's quite frankly, when making a team from scratch.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, look at it this way. I mean, hey, at least you know that if you're gonna go maybe a lower tier Mega, that there's not that many options in tier 1 to work with. So I figured that like kind of impacted your Mega decision as well.
It is, and I felt like because I had such a limited options, my thought process was when looking at this team is I have to take the best of the 3 tier 1 Pokemon, and that only left 2 viable options. Skarmory doesn't count. There is Gengar and Dragonite. And so I had to think, I need a Mega Evolution that Gengar supports. It's kind of weird to think of that, having your tier 1 Pokemon synergize and like complement your... It's usually you have a Mega and you get your tier 1s to support that. This is reversed because of just how many options we don't have. And I felt that Gengar best supported Mega Evolutions that were weak to Fairy, that needed a strong special attacker, a breaker, something that can abuse grass types, all those things that Gengar does well. Mm-hmm. While Dragonite requires a lot more support, mostly because Dragonite's a win condition, and you really want to like be able to Dragon Dance and Z-move and do all this fancy stuff, but that's kind of hard to do when you're strapped for resources. And I didn't want to go down that route with Dragonite. I felt like Dragonite's not my type of Pokemon, even though I do love Dragon Dance users. And I picked up 2. You know me. I love setup. But that's ultimately why I decided to go with Gengar and pair it up with one of my favorite Pokemon that I've never used, or haven't used since Gen 6, Mega Gyarados. Mostly for those reasons I mentioned. Being a fairy resist, a fighting check, something that beats up grass types. I felt like Gengar and Mega Gyarados were a decent pair to start off with, and there were some Pokemon that I felt really shined with Mega Gyarados in the lower tiers that I think I could build a really cool team with. Probably not the best team, but definitely something that's fun, fast-paced, and could win some games and get you to playoffs in BeeDrill, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sounds like some fighting words from almost a retired man.
Hey, BeeDrill's top heavy. It's not a deep division at all. That's just historically how it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, so I think Gengar and Gyarados work pretty well together, in my opinion. And what'd you work around with those 2? What else did you throw on your team?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was looking at these 2 in particular, I wanted a Pokemon that just beat up the most common typings that we see on drafts, being the grasses and the waters. So, 2 Pokemon that I saw right away to beat those mons up were Celebi and Volcarona. I really like these pairings mostly because when you think of Mega Gyarados and how to check it, people are going to have to choice scarf their Pokemon to revenge kill Mega Gyarados. So you really want Pokemon that can set up and abuse choice lock, like fairy type users, like a Scarf Moonblast, for example, or Scarf Dazzling Blade, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that Volcarona takes advantage of all those types of things, being able to set up on resisted weak hits because they're not boosting items. I thought was really important. Not only that, Volcarona pressures a lot of common typings that pivot into Mega Gyarados, and vice versa. Gyarados kind of, they work hand in hand together. It's a really tough team to beat down and consistently take care of. So I really like the Volcarona Mega Gyarados synergy. Celebi was another Pokemon I liked. Actually, Celebi plus Volcarona in the Major PL. I took that to a title. It's a really nice score. Momentum base is how you bring in your Volcarona safely. It's how you bring in your Gyarados safely. So, obviously, that was the reasoning for Celebi. In addition to like Thunderwave support, Stealth Rock, when you have all these types of Pokemon, you definitely want to consider hazards and entry hazards. Support sweepers. That's super, super important. I needed to get lots of Stealth Rock users. I think I ended up with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus spikes. Not bad. And let's see. What else do we have? So we have a Grounded Poison. Takes care of that. Oh yeah. A Flying Resist. Super, super key. Because we have birds that have U-turn. Now that's really, really specific, but think of something like Tornadus, think of Braviary, Staraptor, all these types of birds that can pose issues to a core like this. So you want strong, sturdy flying checks. Mm-hmm. And I picked up 2, and I thought these Pokemon were really, really weird to be undrafted, especially in Beedrill, which is our second highest division. So really a head scratcher in Registeel and Diancie. 2 of the best budget picks. Very, very reliable entry Stealth Rock setters. And, Diancie being a fairy, it's a very good dragon check. I feel that dragons typically are threatening, but they're kind of falling out of favor, but still useful to have. And Registeel as well, being one of the sturdiest and fattest shits out there. It's just pretty good. So I like these 2 in particular. They form a decent backbone. They're kind of weak to the same stuff, but with all of our fighting checks, like we have Gengar, Celebi, Volcarona, I felt like they had a place on this team. Now, because Volcarona is weak to rocks and we don't have any removal, I think there was one Pokemon that doesn't normally run removal that I just had to grab, and that was Tornadus Eye. Mostly because it defogs, and it defogs whenever I want it to. That's kind of why it's there. But it's also really good, Grass types. I really, really do not want grass type showing up. This is how you take care of a Gyarados. A lot of people in Hive love their Shaymins. They love their Tangrowth. No one likes Celebi. That's why it's undrafted, except me. But
so,
I'm a Ferrothorn, so Pokemon like... Hey, I just beat 1 LD with the Celebi, I'm just saying. And, but yeah, Tornadus is really, really good at coming in, applying a lot of pressure, and scaring those... Excuse me! Sorry, I'm allergic to all the bullshit that's in the comment section from me talking about the Celebi. Tornadus is really, really good, man. I like this to pick a lot. Typically goes undrafted, but it's because it doesn't really support a lot. Flying offensively, very, very good, but very, very hard to fit on teams. The teams don't like hazard weak mons. I don't mind. This is a balls to the walls type of team. So you come in once, you kill shit, things die. That's kind of how the game goes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we have most of the team down. We still need a ground type. So I picked up a Diggersby. Gives me spikes, and once again, bring in your grass type and take a fucking 50% from banded return. Come at me. Like, you don't have a lot of options with Diggersby. You have to go into your ground resist, or you take a hit and something dies. It's also
Yeah.
priority, which I really, really like. Especially you really want momentum. Waters that might want to come in, you just send out your Celebi, and now you have the void that I like to call it. But you just
Void.
thread and you turn, thread and you turn. I love it. Yeah. At this rate, we have Como, which I grabbed because it's a Dragon Dancer. It's a fighting type that's at Stealth Rock. Big reasons why I picked it up. It's a pretty expensive at 120. I didn't mind. I have a lot of points because my tier 1 was a Gengar. I don't have another tier 1, so I figured why not just get it.
Yeah. And so now, what we're missing is a one more tier 3 and your tier 5.
Yeah, so I don't like Celebi as my only psychic type, and I really wanted something fat to absorb hits, something that people like to counter. People like to bring fast stuff against fast teams. Mm-hmm. So if you have a Trick Room setter, and if you have a Trick Room Pokemon that sets it and then attacks, doesn't switch out to a threat, that's really nice. And one is Behemoth. It's a really powerful Pokemon with analytic. They're really heat pick. Sets up the Trick Room, 140 or 130 special attacks, something ridiculous. And you can give it Z moves, has a decent amount of cover. And I feel like, just synergistically, it does nice on a team like this. And it's a 20-point Pokemon. You're getting a lot of value out of this Pokemon, which is why I want it. And then last but not least, I wanted another fairy. Why not? Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff in the middle. So just a Gardevoir for fucks. Why
just
not?
Gardevoir.
Just why not? So 3. Yeah. Continue.
I think just Gardevoir is one of those reliable mons that, even though it may not be drafted, I think there's no reason for it not to be drafted, and it will always be reliable if it is picked up on a team, if the spot is right at least. But it just overall, look at this team here. We do have the complete Hive, Greg, best of the rest, Beedrill team. It is Gengar, Celebi, Tornadus Eye, Gardevoir, Registeel, Behemoth, Mega Gyarados, Volcarona, Diancie, Diggersby, and Como-O. And something probably to touch on is just how you said that you want this team is going to be balls to the walls, and that's basically what this team is. It's just there's some stuff where it's okay, maybe you don't have enough hazard removal per se, but I mean when this team is set up the way it is, I don't think it really, you don't focus on playing a 30 to 40 turn game. I would think you want
this is going to end in 20 turns.
Yeah, you want to get in and get out there. The thing I like is when you're talking about having choices with your team. It's you have the speed, you have Tailwind support in Tornadus Eye, you have very nice speed tiers, you have the speed setup options with Volcarona, Diggersby, Como-O, and Mega Gyarados. And then on the flip side of that as well, it's you have 3 Trick Room setters. I don't know if Celebi gets Trick Room, but I know you have 3.
It does, yes.
Oh, so 4, I guess. You have 4 Trick Room setters, and you could use mons like Diggersby, or if you finesse maybe a Gyarados or Como-O, that you could get enough out of that Trick Room as well. I think that's what really sets this team, and I think that's what I like the most about it. I don't think there's an overdosage of too much of one part of the team, but I don't think that there is a lack of too much on the team that's necessary for what this play style of team is, what it's supposed to do,
Yeah, this team is not going to grind you games. If you play recklessly with it, you could find yourself in trouble a lot. So Definitely not the type of team for everybody, but this is the type of team that I would use pretty comfortably.
Oh yeah, for
But that's
sure.
just me.
As I want to look at it, it's you just have to kind of work with what you were given because, like you said, it wasn't like you could have a couple mons to work with and grabbing in tier one like you did with Weedle, how you were able to get Thundy Eye, Excadrill, and Tyranitar. You basically had Gengar, and that was basically one of your only options in tier one. So you had to in turn make everything else work in the lower tiers. And I think with mons that are left, like Celebi, like Volcarona, Diggersby, Komao, that I think people probably lost out, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of depth on this team, and this depth could have been on yours. So sorry you didn't pick it up.
Oh yeah,
But it's all the good news is that you don't have to play my team. When free agency comes, just pick them up.
yeah.
They're for your taking.
Yeah, no, but basically what Greg is doing here, what the point of the series is, it's just like it's to highlight some of the probably best mons that were left in the basically the draft pool. But even then, it's not just the best mons. It's like I'm sure if Greg wanted to choose the best mon out of each one, he could have, and I'm sure that there's mons that didn't make some of the lists that were done from this series.
That's always the case.
Yeah, like
Always the
that.
case.
Like that's like there's mons that were left out on this list, or his list, or my list that will be coming out. But like these are mons that people could look at and be like, "Yo, I can't believe this is still here. Maybe I should pick this up for my team and help my team out a little bit more."
Yeah.
Because I,
Yeah. We all know guys like a Hale or I don't know, people drop from this league a lot. So
yeah,
you might have to substitute in and you get to take what's yours.
oh yeah. I mean,
Templates for Beedrill players, temple for Kakuna or Weedle, wherever you want to go.
yeah, for sure. I think when you look at what Hive Beedrill, you had that, like you said, it's very top heavy is the word I believe you used.
That's my opinion. Yeah, top heavy.
Where I think you just have a lot of players there. That skill level is kind of it's recommended to be pretty good in Beedrill, you know. And so it's like I think seeing a lot of these mons here, it's just like they must either believe in their draft that much or they made some pretty big mistakes in their draft.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's pretty.
I think yeah, if we look around in Beedrill still, it's like even if you take those mons out, you still have mons like Mimikyu. You have what else is here? Let's see, Doug Trio, Gothitelle. You had for I guess some reason Jake is juicing over Tapu Lele with no surge, so it.
Sorry,
Oh.
I'm allergic to bull.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, you have Entei. Um, it's like you have a lot Araquanid, Gardevoir, even though that was on your list. Galvantula. It's like there's mons on these lists here that it's like that they are very viable on other drafts for sure, and they are viable in the draft league, but just in Beedrill they just didn't make the cut for some teams. It looked like. And I think that's a pretty good way
Yeah,
to end off this episode. Really, just to point that out right there. I'm just gonna put in the middle screen what Greg's team was again. Uh, I was a big fan of both your teams in Weedle and Beedrill here. Uh, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose the Mega King team or the Weedle team first. I That looks like a team that
yeah,
I would probably mess with a little bit more. But I like both teams to be honest. It I
yeah.
think
They're
they
both
both
really
work
good
out.
teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
I actually built this one. John did not build
yeah.
this Gyarados team.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's what you say, but I don't like
Huh?
the. That's what you say. I don't hear any sneezing though, so I think you might be saying the truth.
Thank you.
But yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a beautiful day and Laters.
Peace.